So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben. All right, Rockstar Nation, I have a great guest today, Mr. Dan Baltzer, coming from Twin Cities, Minnesota, and he is he's knocking some things dead there, and he is making things happen, and he's got some really cool things to share about what him and his team are doing today. So I'm excited to get him on the show. Mr. Dan, welcome to Real Estate Rockstars.
Hey, great. Thanks, Pat, for having me. Appreciate it. I'm thrilled to be here.
Hey, Dan, why don't you give everybody a little rundown on who you are so they can get to know you better?
Sure. So I'm an agent here in the Twin Cities. I run a team of about not quite 30 agents and 3 full-time support staff, and we work hard and play hard and are finding success and always looking for new and better ways to transform the lives of my agents, make them better, and have them achieve results that they didn't know they could have before. So that's what we're doing. We're having fun doing it.
Wow, I love it. Okay, so how long have you been in the business?
Too long, not long enough, depending on who you ask. So I've been fully licensed in five years. And in those 5 years, I've gone from a solo agent to running a team of 30 and the sales manager for my brokerage as well. So it's been a hell of a ride, and I'm only looking forward to what the next 5 bring. So
it's too long. Is that coming from you? And then everybody else says not long enough?
That might be going from my wife, to be honest.
I actually think that's probably a good thing to say. You know what I mean? Because like, if you're, I think being impatient is a virtue in that if you're building a business, you know what I mean? That's just how I am naturally, right? You know, I want things done yesterday, and nothing's fast enough. You know what I mean? I think, oh, I've been doing this for too long, where other people think I just started yesterday. You know, so
yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So, I mean, basically, are you in production at all?
Yes, I still do my own production. It's my friends, family, and sphere that reach out, that I stay in contact with. But most of my work day is really focused on maximizing the impact my agents have in the communities and their spheres and their business.
And 30 agents, like 2 years ago, how many agents did you have?
Just me.
So when did you hire these 30 agents?
It's really been, I had 8 or 10 at the end of 2016. It's been this year where we just launched and rolled.
That's beautiful. All right, we're going to talk about that too, like how you got there. Well, let's talk some numbers first. What is your ECI, your ego commission income on this group, Dan?
My ego commission income?
Yeah.
Let me grab that for you. I can pull full numbers. So if we want to look at this year, all the whole production piece here, pull it up. We have... let's get the whole files networks pieces here. So we're going to do average market, volume, active listings. Okay, so I'll probably do 50 million with a bunch of rookies. We'll do 190 transactions closed, and yeah, that's probably what we're at so far. Where we'll end the year at.
So 50 million. So you're going to make $1 million? Do you think?
Myself, no.
No, I mean the team, right?
Yeah, the team will be about 1.6.
1.6. Okay.
Yep.
And what do you think the net will be?
The net for us, well, we pumped in a whole bunch of reinvestment in the business for capital reinvestment piece. So my take home's not going to be this number, but my take home probably going to be in the 60-70 range, just coming straight out of the gate first year with a lot of capital infrastructure investments, right? So it's really going to see gravy starting next year, and we're already peaking above where we're at from year over year to date, from what January looks like when January.
So your thought is to put, you know, basically, do you take a salary? Do you take commissions yourself? I mean, you make 60,000 off of
team production right now is going straight back into team resources and team development. My own productions is what's keeping me afloat right now. This year in 18 is where it's going to be. It's all been about investment, startup businesses. You got to reinvest.
So you just keep your commissions.
Yeah,
100% of them.
Yeah,
and then which nets you about 60 grand.
Yeah.
And then every cent that the 30 agents make, you put back in the business. Looking at it from a big picture, I mean, you're at like half of a percent, like 90, your expenses are 99 point. If someone were to analyze your business, say, man, Dan, your expenses are 99.5%. And your profit margin is 0.5%. So tell me your philosophy on that and what you would have to say if someone were to,
Yeah. So one of the, my team splits are real generous into my team. I want agents to have a life and be successful with the team. I don't want to create the environment where a team member is dependent on everything that I give them and they make just enough to survive, but not enough to leave, right, and provide for their family, because I've been there, right? And so I'll do everything I can to push dollars into my agents' pockets, and big dollars, right? And then on my side, the numbers look great once you start doing greater volume and a greater agent count, right? And that's where this year's the building year, and we'll start seeing the turnaround next year.
So where do you think the tipping point is? I mean, you think it's at a certain volume? Do you think it's at a certain number of agents?
At about 40 agents, we'll start seeing some real good returns for myself and the leadership, and we're going to grow. We're on track to be probably 50 by the end of 2018, and only growing from there. So it starts looking good right up at that point. We're almost there.
And do you have your own brokerage?
No, I am under a brokerage called Realty Group here in the Twin Cities.
Realty Group. And are you in their office? You have your own office? I mean, like, how are you guys set up? I
got about half their floor space in the office.
Okay. And
so from all practical purposes, I'm a brokerage within a brokerage because I run the team. I have my brokerage.
Yeah. Like how many agents do they have?
200 some.
And you have 30. So you have 15% of the agents.
Correct.
But you probably have 50% of the producing agents.
No, we have a pretty good. That'd be a little too high.
You're taking half the floor space, and you're taking up people that are actually going to work, right?
True, but we have Realty Group. I say we, because I'm also part of management for the brokerage. Have a good track record on their production as well from a brokerage standpoint. So to say half might be a little high, but I'm probably 25 to 35% of the production.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Well, makes sense. Cool. All right. So, let's talk a little bit about this accelerator program you got going. Tell me about it.
So what is one of the biggest things agents face in their day and in their life as real estate agents? Oftentimes it's accountability, discipline, and even knowing what to do. Would you agree?
100%. Yeah, 100%. It's the knowing. Yeah, number one, knowing what to do, knowing something to do that's actually going to make them money.
Yep.
And accountability to that.
Yep.
Follow through after that, and then keeping the deal together after that, right? I mean. Yep,
exactly. So I think I've come across a way, and it's I've kind of cherry picked some ideas from across. As you go to you go to Inman or you wherever you end up going, and you pick up ideas here and there. My broker and myself sat down and said, let's try and incorporate some of the best of these things. What can we do? You're always going to have some of the natural agents who are going to be, or just natural go-getters who, no matter what environment they're in, are just going to go out and crush and kill it, right? Like yourself, I'm sure, right? You're just going to create it from nothing. You're a personality. But that's not the bulk of the population, right? So that's going to apply to the agent population as well. Okay? I mean, if you look at the average agent does X number of deals, and it's single digits possibly, across a wide spectrum, maybe even low teens, to be a top 1%er or 5%er, you don't have to do that many transactions. And it's because of a lot of times the bulk population doesn't know what to do and how to keep motivated and driven. They're actually just lucky that this number of deals fell in their lap through the year, right? So what can we do to take the bulk of a population and make them all better and succeed? And what we come up with is what we call this, it's called the Accelerator. It's actually a thing. We built a whole room around it. So we did a whole room build out. And what we incorporated is time management, the specific focus on activities, all the technical and admin support that you can possibly provide, and then the accountability piece and the culture of fun around it, and body movement and kinesiology even, right? We really built this whole thing out. So what this is right in the middle of my acceleration room. So it's a room. Is a 6-pod cube, 8 pods.
Okay, wait a minute. So let's slow this down a little bit, right? So you have a room, correct, and it says the acceleration room, and correct, in it, how big is this room? Like, just to visualize this.
I can get 18 agent workstations around the outside of it with the accelerator in the middle, so it's probably 1,000. 30 by 30, 900 square feet.
And then the acceleration in the middle, what is that? That's the 6 desks?
That's the 8 stations. It's 8, not 6. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's 8 stations with a
stations.
full-time FTE as the commander of the accelerator.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. What's a FTE?
Full-time equivalent. I have a staff member who staffs. I have a paid staff person, my ops talent, who sits in the middle of this. And I'll explain it to you in a second. You'll get me quite confused.
Yeah, okay. I'll just let you keep talking and explain this thing through.
All right.
I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? What this is going to be interesting. Keep going.
Right. So one acceleration cycle for an agent to complete one full acceleration cycle, there are 8 acceleration stations. Okay? And they go around by station. So, and they spend 30 minutes per station, right? So it takes about 4 hours to complete, okay? And in the middle of this, so the stations are built in a circle around the person in the middle, which is my ops person. And each station has a theme. So you're only doing this one activity by station. So one station could be cold calling a renters list. Another station could be your sphere station, how to reach out to your sphere. And each week we say, this is the messaging for your sphere that you haven't touched yet, and we coordinate that for you, etc. Right? Now, agents spend a half hour. It's full of 8 agents at a time, and they rotate through. Stations 7 and 8 are actually interactive, and that's role-playing. And then on the top of the role-playing deck, we have cards to say, there's your scenario, go, and they practice their craft.
Wait a minute. Okay, so there's 8 desks.
Yep.
There's a half an hour at each desk.
Yep.
The first half an hour is what?
You get 8 agents. Someone starts in station 1. Someone starts in station 2.
So let's. What is in station 1?
Station 1 is current and active clients.
Current and active clients, and while you're in station 1, all you're doing is calling current and active clients.
Doing whatever research or work you need for your follow-up for current and active clients. Yes. So if it's a listing, it's Tuesday. You're sending out your listing marketing data. Right. Here's what List Hub report says. Here's what we're seeing. Do we need to do price reductions and that type of thing?
Okay. Then boop, the buzzer rings.
Yep.
It's 30 minutes. They go to station 2. What's in station 2?
Social media.
Social media. Okay, so then what are they doing in social? I mean, I could guess, but you tell me.
So social media, obviously, if they're early on in their career, they're building out the social media profiles, but then they're engaging their social media clients and contacts, looking for authentic conversations to have. We also have scheduled postings. If it's the first accelerator cycle on the first week of the month, here's the posting you need to do. And we really follow a lot of Michael Maher's 7L Facebook posting strategy, right, to generate referrals.
Nice. Okay.
So one of the things we do is, yes, my team does provide leads. We'll talk about those as well, but it also helps agents build their own business. Again, I'm all about them being as successful as we possibly can, not just doing lead business, but building their own business. Make sense?
Yeah.
So half the accelerator stations are up for their sphere, half are leads that I provide.
Okay. So I want to just keep going because I want to get this down. So, okay. So I got past clients, right? A sphere of influence. I got Facebook. What's number 3?
Number 3 is a cold calling station where you get renters lists, or we're going to implement listing leads there where expireds, and just push people.
All that information's already there, right? Like
already there. Yep.
Like the expired list,
Yep, it's already there.
and it's, if I'm the 8th guy,
Yep.
do I get screwed because all the leads have been called already?
Nope.
There's always abundance of leads.
Yes.
So everything's there, and you just bang away. Bum, 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 bum.
Yep.
Do you have an expectation of how many cold calls, quote unquote, they're supposed to do?
Right now, no, because we've been running this for about 2 months. I'm still trying to see what we're doing. We're averaging about 20 calls in that half-hour time period.
Now, are you using any technology, any auto dialers, anything there? Is it just?
I have not done that yet because I want to see how the agent adoption was and what the feedback was from them since it's fairly new. As we get more at it, I'll add more tech and more tools as we get into it.
This is fun. I almost want to come visit you just to go through this one day and get like a ribbon or something.
You're welcome.
So, all right, and then station 4,
Yep.
right? What's station 4?
That station 4, if I go work around, that is your sphere 1 where you're writing, you're calling your sphere folks for what's the reason to call this month or this week.
Wait a minute, that's 1.
Nope, 1 is current clients. Who are you actively in your car now? And who you
1 is current clients. 2 is Facebook. 3 is
cold call.
Cold call. 4 is past
Sphere.
clients and
Nope,
sphere.
sphere. It's just your sphere. Could be past clients, could be sphere, could be
Church, whatever. People
Right.
you know.
Yep, exactly.
Does it include writing thank you notes, or is it only calling?
Number 5 is the write it thank you notes and stuff like that.
I like that because, that's like one of the things that's kind of like a C-level activity that you could always try to say, oh, I'll do later. And literally sometimes it takes me 3 weeks to write one thank you note. And then when I write it, I'm like, damn, that only took like 4 seconds.
You want to know what's really cool about it? Remember I mentioned there's my full-time ops person in the middle of this?
Yes.
If she knows, her name's, I'm going to leave her name. If she knows that you're running through the accelerator that day, right? When you get to station 5, which is we call it write it out, and your handwritten notes, she is going to see your calendar and say, here's who you met with in the last day or 2. You already have your postcards stamped and addressed. All you have to do is write the note. You give it back to her.
That's great.
And she's going to get it in the mail.
Wow, that's brilliant. Okay.
At each one of these stations, you don't have to enter anything into the CRM. You can bark over your shoulder or jot a quick note down and give it to my ops person, and she's entering the CRM. I'm trying to remove all barriers from agents to do what you do.
That's great. That's great too. I remember back in the day when I was building my REO business, I hired somebody, a virtual assistant, just to be on the phone with me on the other line, actually on a speakerphone on a separate phone, to just enter stuff in the CRM and write notes and just so I was able to constantly pick up the phone for 3 hours straight and call banks, and then remember the next time she came on who I called next, and she would just tell me who to call next. So I think that's awesome. Okay, so now we're at station 5. Our hand is about to fall off. We've written 12 thank you notes or 20.
Yep.
Station 6.
Station 6, we call it Z buyers. That's a lead source, and it's folks who have expressed light interest in learning more of real estate, whatever. So it's just another lead source that we have just separated out.
All right, I don't get it. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
So it's think of it this way. It's another lead source I'm tapped into, and I'm funneling into this one station. So it'd be the equivalent of taking, here's all my team Zillow leads going into this station. So it's the
same thing. It's something you're paying for. It's a lead source you're paying for, and they're following up on those leads.
Exactly.
Okay. So say anybody could do it with Realtor.com leads, Boomtown, Commission Inc., whatever you want. Wherever you're getting your leads that you're buying.
One thing I wouldn't do, though, I wouldn't do a portal lead where you need that quick 30-second response, because I do have ISAs who work those leads for me into an acceleration station, right? Because it may take a while for them to respond.
And it'd be duplicating effort. So what do you do?
So it is these lead sources just lightly raise their hand, had some level of interest, but don't need that instant response piece. That goes into this station. My instant response ones, I do have an ISA who runs those leads for me, my portal leads, such as Realtor.com.
Okay. All right. Station 7.
7 and 8 go together, and that is role playing.
Okay, so tell me how that works.
So you're on one side of the table at station 7. I'm on the other side of the table at station 8, right? And for 1/2 hour, you're the client and I'm the agent. And then when you go to station 7, 8, you become the agent, and the person coming into 7's and the client.
Give and receive, basically. So half hour you're kind of relaxing because you're being the client, and the other half you're on your game role playing. Yeah, and you have all like cards there for them to look at.
So think of it as a player deck. In the jar, I have a whole stack of cards. You flip the card up, and there's your scenario or your objection, right? and you need to role play. How do you overcome that objection? We practice our craft.
And then what happens when they get when people get through this? I mean, is this hard for them? Are they like, oh my God, like they just did a, hot yoga or something when they come out of this? Or is it like,
well, here's what's kind of fun. The very first day we launched this, I was obviously down watching this happen. And about halfway through, there's an energy drop. You need to address that because you have to go yet. This is going to take 4 hours. And we run our acceleration cycles 4 times a week, Monday through Thursday, and Friday is off. Okay. Can you imagine your business when you accelerate 4 times a week and you spend 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours per day, 4 days a week, focus on lead gen and getting your business? How many deals are you going to get? Right.
I mean, you're guaranteed. You know what I mean? It's like, that's, I did a course for Rebus University called 5 Alive with Chantel Ray. And basically what she does is she guarantees a $75,000 salary out of her agents. She guarantees it. If they make 50, she gives them 25 grand out of her pocket. But wow. the way she's able to do this is she makes them do like essentially like a station like yours, not a station. It's not a physical thing. But she makes them do 5 things every week or they get fired. So, they're going to win. They're going to make more than 75. And it's just, I would say, if you could find people that you could make do the acceleration program every 4 days a week, I mean, they're going to be the rookie of the year guaranteed. You could pull them out of they can be dishwashers at a restaurant. And if they're doing this acceleration thing 4 days a week, they're going to be top agent.
Yep. And we're starting to see the results. So we've been running this for 2 months and we are seeing a 200% increase in agent activity and the closings are just starting to roll in. Right.
I believe it. So tell me what is the reaction? Like, I'm sure at first all the agents are like, Yahoo, yeah, I'll do this. I'll check it out. But then after they do it, is it addicting? Do they want to go back in or are they scared?
Human nature kicks in, right? Most have a little aversion to that cold call station. It's just not what everyone's comfort zone is. So I'm seeing what I can do to tweak that because this is brand new. I can't find someone else who says they've created this and they know what's going on. So I don't have anybody to mastermind with. But what I'm learning is that human behavior, hey, it's tough. I don't like it. What I'm going to do, maybe they don't sign up for Accelerator that day or whatever. So I'm looking at ways to keep that rolling, but have people push out their comfort zone to get through that, right? But people are excited about it, and it's become a verb in our business. You'll hear agents saying, did you accelerate today? Are you accelerating tomorrow? Right? And it's, have you done it? And it's a verb, right? We have group chats. We'll get texts from them saying, with excitement, as they sit on their bouncy balls at the chairs at the station or whatever, and just doing a happy dance because they just made contact with somebody or whatever. And it's really sharing, and it's really become a communal event. Hey, I haven't seen you accelerate in the last 2 days. Where you been? And the culture itself is starting to push people in, right? And so 30 agents, right? Because it's your team that's doing this. Correct.
What are you doing to? And I'm just being devil's advocate here. This might not be anything like the truth, but in my experience of running big teams, I think you'd run into the risk of it being great in the beginning and then losing stamina after a couple of months. What are you doing to ensure that doesn't happen, that people are constantly rotating in and out of there? Are you making it mandatory or what are you doing?
No, it's not mandatory because I'm not going to go down the path of Department of Labor and employee laws, right? You're still independent contractors.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't make it mandatory. But what I do is, dear agent, you've set a goal of this. Right, and we have monthly one-on-ones, and it's roughly I'm going to get every agent to a minimum of 2 deals per month closing, right? Minimum, right? Yep. And so my one-on-ones is, do you have 2? I already know the answer, but hey, do you have 2 deals next month? And my one-on-ones happen in the week of the mid-teens, right? And so hey, do you have 2 deals so if it's December mid-teens, I'm asking, do you have 2 deals in January set up and ready to close? Nope. Why not? Well, get your butt in the accelerator. It's your goal, not mine.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now.
Yeah. For your family. So it's grounding in what's in it for them. Give them a little spur, a gentle nudge, and a lot of love to move them into their goal, right? It's not a punitive approach, do it or else, and you're fired. It's a reward piece. Now, to make things fun and exciting, those cards, like at the role play station when you pull a card, some of those, we're going to launch this out the first of the year. I'm going to mark some of those cards, and if you pull one of those cards, I'm going to have a gas card for you. Make it fun. You won something.
Cool.
Right? Every time someone does a piece of success, there's a bell they're going to ring. We've seen that on Salesforce. So I'm going to take some classic Salesforce stuff and implement it as well, and everyone celebrates together. A little bit ago, I mentioned that energy drop that happens about halfway through. So you've been pounding this out for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, right? You just feel it in the room. The energy drops. The admins that are going to in there pause the accelerator, and they're going to do like a 80s 5-minute Jane Fonda workout. We have a big 90-inch screen TV that they plop up a video. They've seen Shakira's hips dance or whatever, and they just party for 5 minutes or rev their energy back up and then get back running to it.
Yeah.
And so we do. It stays fun. It stays focused. And every day on my team huddle, we're asking, hey, who's an accelerator today? It's just becoming something we're talking about all the time, that when you're not in it, and I said the culture starting to push people in it yourself, you haven't been in the accelerator this week. It's what we do. And so I want to continue to nurture that is a way on who my team is and how we do it, and have the culture then adjust those who are fully engaged and not in this process, rather than me be a punitive piece.
Yeah, I almost think, you know, it should be a culture unwritten, right? Because, like you said, for labor laws, but unwritten that, you know, once you get under a certain amount of pendings, you know, whether let's say it's 3 pendings, like if you don't have 3 settlements scheduled to pay you commissions, you need to be an accelerator, right? Yeah. Once it drops down, you could have 6 pendings and you're like, I'm kicking ass. And then you know how real estate is. They all settle at once. It drops down to 2 and it's like, below the threshold, you need to get an accelerator every day.
Yep. So and in my one-on-one conversation, hey, great, you have 3, 4, 5, 6 next month. I said, how about the month after? Nothing. So then why aren't you an accelerator, right? Do you want the valley, or do you want to make income that month too? Yeah. Right? It's just staying focused and pushing them to be best what they can. All right. And I get to know my agents. I know their lives, what's the personal side. So it's kind of say, hey, you know, you and insert spouse's name, you want to hit that trip in May. I got you covered. We'll cover for you all your stuff going on, but why don't you give me a boatload of stuff that I have to cover for you? Right? Get it done. Launch this thing. Keep rolling so that when you come back, you don't have a, you know, and I know, you take a week off, you lose a month of production. Right? Just the way it seems to work. So it's ramp it up. We'll carry it.
I don't know why that isn't that the truth, but yeah, interesting. So okay, so this is amazing. So what I want to talk, I love this accelerator room. I want to see it in action. If you get an opportunity sometime, send me a little clip, text me a clip of it filming in action. I'd love to see it. I want to talk to you a little bit about recruiting and growing, because I know a lot of people are listening to this going, how did this guy in 24 months recruit 30 agents for his team?
Yep.
And keep them. So talk to me about that. Like, just tell us, what'd you do?
So a lot of it's around, one, of course, I'm very generous on the split side. So for the folks who are purely bottom line driven, I come out ahead most of the time. Not always.
So what are your splits?
If it's a team lead, like I produce the lead, it's a 50-50 split. That's pretty common, pretty classic.
So like a Zillow lead or you get a referral of someone in your church, boom, you know, that's a 50-50 they get.
Yep, they get
buyers and sellers, listings and sales, right?
correct. Yep. And it's only for the first deal. So if that person then transacts another time, it's in your sphere. It's only the first deal that is the team, right?
Oh, I got you. So if they buy another house,
that goes into a personal deal.
It becomes personal because they like them and they're coming back to them.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And
okay.
personals for I have a couple rankings, but I have some junior leaders underneath my team that have a little different split. But the bulk of my team, it's a 75 to them, 25 to the group on their personal deals. So I run really lean to put as much stuff into them as I can. Now, in addition, we have 3 full-time staff that we handle all your marketing. We handle all your admin work. Really, any agent coming to my group has a voice-activated business, and the engine's already running. In addition, the agents themselves, I'll have them interview my agents, talk to them, and they're the ones pulling these folks in. I don't have to convince them. This is the place I want to be. It's communal. I remember early on in my career, I was rocking it. I did a heck of a lot of business my first year, but I was working in my home office, and I remember being broken on the floor in my home office going, why am I doing this? Real estate can be the loneliest social job that exists. You can have 700 conversations a day, but the same conversation. And you end up being not a connection piece. So we help create this community where we join together. We know each other. We're this band. We're this tribe, right? And we do this together, and we all believe that we are better because of each other, and we are a we, right?
So do you think, going back to the recruiting part, do you think that the reason that the 30 of them joined is monetary solely? I mean, is it?
No.
You know what I mean? Like how?
If it's monetary solely, you're not a fit for me, and I'm going to move past you.
But at the end of the day, it's a factor, obviously, or she would have brought it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a factor. So we adjust it. I'm all about making them as successful as I can. Right, as I said, build them lives, have them create their lives, transform my agents' lives. Everything to do is to make them as successful as I can. And at the volume that we discussed earlier, it's going to come back to me, which will hit that tipping point here real soon at our recruiting pace. Okay.
And how do you know about this tipping point? How do you not know that it goes backwards after 100 million or after, you know what I mean? Because the more money, more problems, you know what I mean? Like the more gross, the more expenses you're going to have, then you're going to be, next thing you know, you're going to be putting out more Zillow ads, and you're going to be putting out, hiring more assistants and things like that. Then your broker's going to want, to pay, X, Y, and Z. I mean, I'm just playing. How do you know that you're going to hit a tipping point and all of a sudden you're going to be massively profitable or
well, we've done the projections with our expense and what it looks like, right? And that's how we came to the number was where it's to be that 40 agent mark is where we start seeing a bigger return, right? And it's just
at that point you won't have to hire more. You won't have to spend more, right?
Yeah, correct, right? Some things, we may add this, we may add that, but the bulk of the expense has already occurred getting to that point, and then the rest becomes kind of gravy after that, right? So that's kind of where it's at. My goal is to keep the support staff ratio at about 10 to 15 agents per support staff, right? So, and I'm not going to add support staff until I get the agent count producing the revenue for it. So it's not spend first, it's spend second. Okay, so make sure the money's coming in there. And just as the way the agents celebrate sales and do the stuff like that, my support staff gets celebrated and honored from my agents as well. They know that they can't run this business without them and stuff like that. So it's really, everyone's in it, everyone's invested into it. And there's how we go.
You may want to start taking a transaction fee or something that's going to pay you off of the top of each deal. You know what I mean? Because that way, like right now at a 0.5% profit, obviously that's not sustainable, right? At some point you're gonna be like, this is for the birds. But if you took $500 or even you took $100, like how many deals are you guys doing?
So with a bunch of reg take groups, our first year we did 190. We're going to probably hit 300 in 2018.
So you did 300. You took 100. That's 30 grand. You took 500. That's 150 grand. So I think I'd start charging a transaction fee of $500. I think that would be a sure thing. And gross, you take that and it goes right to your pocket. I'm just thinking out loud, but
Yeah,
you know.
no, I'm with you. So I've had many discussions with folks on, the revenue side of things, and we projected out. And some of the things we keep close to my chest here is I'm still working things out. But everyone knows that we're in this together. We're doing it to win. So I do have the cultural acceptance that if I need to make a change in comp, that they know is for everyone's best interest and whatever. So
yeah, that's hard. It's hard to do that, because at the end of the day, once you give something to someone,
it's hard to take it back, right? But it's always
hard to take it away. Now, what you could do is you could grandfather the people in, grandfather the 30 in, and the next 30,
have a different
drop
deal.
it down a little bit.
Yep. So we'll play with it as we go. But it's an exciting ride. We love doing it, and the people who they're starting to come to us now. It's kind of fun. I don't have to go out and reach out so much. They're starting to come and intrigue, and my agents are bringing their friends in. Hey, I've transacted with this person. You need to come join us because this is how we do it, and we're just loving life. And it's starting to roll in positive direction. I like it.
Yeah, I love that. I love the accelerator. I haven't heard anybody do anything like that. You know what I mean? The closest thing is, hey, sit at your desk and do what you're told, right?
Yeah.
But here you're making a round robin, and it's great for the ADD agent, which most of them are, where you're like doing something different. Here you're doing this, here you're doing this. Even the Facebook thing, I've had several people, Chantel Ray being one of them, that basically promotes aggressive business like stalking, which is probably what you're doing there. They're not going there for entertainment in the Facebook desk. On the Facebook desk, they're going there to look for people that are pregnant, to look for people that had kids that just graduated high school, to look for people that just got divorced, just got married, and then, strategically
you reach out
interact
to
with
your sphere in the sphere station, right? And then we have lead gen posts that they're doing themselves to capture own leads and stuff like that, right? You do that as well. So it's the two front. Where are true and authentic engagement points for your sphere? And then what can you do on the marketing side? And there's where it gets focused for you there.
Wow. Brilliant. Well, Dan, this has been great. Guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put everything that Dan and I talked about on hibandigital.com/accelerator. Go to hibandigital.com/accelerator. Everything will be in the show notes, including Dan's free gift that he brought with him today. Dan, tell us about what you're going to leave for the agents here.
So it's basically folks who are considering building a team building team is how to create a culture that is more and than just a classic sales floor culture that says, hey, we only sell, always ABC, always be closing, right? And that fierce cutthroat piece. But where you can become this communal environment that is then becomes self-perpetuating, and it just starts to roll in itself. I've done some really cool things. I had some expertise in this area before I joined real estate. I have a master's degree in organization development. So it's actually taking corporate culture building into a real estate institute, and that's what I have for you guys. That's
awesome, guys. And I'm going to put that in Dan's show notes. I'm also going to put it in the Agent Success Toolbox, which will be on hibandigital.com/toolbox, or you can text the word toolbox to 444-999. And that tool, the 13 steps to creating culture, as well as all the other tools that all of the Rockstar guests have brought, will be in the same toolbox. Dan, listen, buddy, if I am ever in the Twin Cities, I have a niece there, as I mentioned, and if I ever come up to visit her, I will look you up, buddy, and we'll get together and have some coffee.
Please do. I'd love to have you and take you on a tour of the acceleration room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should come up just to watch that. That'll be classic. Make a class out of that.
There you go.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for coming on, Dan. Have a great day.
You too. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Real Estate Rockstars. Please give us a review wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening. We eat feedback for breakfast, and I don't care whether you give me a 1-star review or a 5-star review. I just want the review. I want to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Would love to improve things. Hey, and listen, please subscribe. The more subscribers we get and the more reviews we get, the better guests we'll get for you in the future. Feel free to reach out to me anywhere on social media. Just type in my name. I'm everywhere, and I look forward to meeting you in the digital world. Have a great day, and thanks again for listening to Real Estate Rockstars.